Woke up early in the morning, scrolling on my phone. Open up TikTok, see my man Rico knows. He's talking college football, all the spreads and all the trends. Say you wanna win money, listen to me, man. I tell my lady, go make me a bagel. I gotta listen to what Rico gotta say, though. He got the numbers and he got the picks, so I gotta listen to my man Rico. I'm just scrolling on my phone, seeing what Rico knows, seeing what he know about the UFC and college football, the prop picks, all the spread picks, the plus money underdogs, all the best picks. Gotta listen to my man Rico, he's a wizard. I told my girl Rico, say listen to the lizard, and we cash it out, all the props. We cash it out, all the props. Listening to Rico, I'm just scrolling on my phone, seeing what he knows, seeing what Rico knows, seeing what Rico knows. I'm just scrolling on my phone, scrolling on my phone, scrolling on my phone. I'm just scrolling on my phone, seeing what Rico knows, seeing what he know about the UFC and college football, the prop picks, all the spread picks, the plus money underdogs, all the best picks.
What up, TikTok, drip, drop, flip, flop, and YouTube MVPs? What's up, man? Good morning, guys. It was a long night, and I just woke up, had a little bit of time to do some research, looking all over the internet, trying to figure out where we got it wrong, where we got it right. And what I can tell you is Vegas made a lot of money last night. If you're looking at these fights, and this is a rarity in the UFC, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 underdogs won fights last night. 5. Now, you have to pick those 5. You have to get them right. And last night I chose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 underdogs to try to win. I knew underdogs had a chance, man. And we got it wrong. And we missed horribly. Now, if I looked on the internet, most cappers missed horribly last night. And it wasn't the main event that we missed because that's a coin flip, right? Most of them missed on Paulo Costa and Kopylov. They got it completely wrong. Most people missed on Kevin Holland. Daniel Rodriguez got it completely wrong. It's just there's no way to believe in it. Pitbull and Ige were a coin flip. Most people believed Zell Huber was going to beat Michael Johnson. It didn't happen. So a lot of most misses here. People were on Prado, but also, we got it right. And that's just the way it goes sometimes, okay? So let's talk about it. You can learn from it, and then we'll discuss the chart. I'm going to talk about the fighters first, so I can always come back and watch my notes on the fighters. That's important that you guys understand. We're making results videos so we can keep our thoughts fresh in the mind on our assessment of these fighters, and then we'll discuss betting. What I want you guys to do, if you're watching this right now, it is free. It's on Patreon. It's on YouTube. Is please watch these fucking results videos. Please. For the life of me, I'll never understand how you guys go from losing money in the UFC and the very next day you're betting on baseball, basketball, soccer because you have a fucking habit. Like, if you want to get better at what you're doing, listen. That's all I can tell you. Listen, and hopefully you get better. And I'm going to have a bit of advice for some of the gamblers at the end of this video, and I hope they take it to heart. I hope they understand what I'm saying. But let's talk about these fights first. We'll start at the very bottom in the early prelim fight. Early prelim fight was 2 girls, Carly Giudice and Nicole Cagliari. I had this 100% correct. I told you guys Carly Giudice is too athletic. And once you find somebody more athletic than you, Nicole Cagliari can't impose her will. She's too small for the weight class. Yes, she looks muscular. She's huge. But what's her path to victory? Like, she doesn't have knockout power. Most girls at this weight class don't have knockout power. So then is she going to be a grappler, a dominant grappler, a wrestler? That's not it, okay? She doesn't have the ability to really impose her will. Now, is she better than some of the scrubs walking around on the street? I think so. I don't know. I mean, I've watched her fight here, and she gets knocked out by a knee. The first time a knee's ever won a fight for a girl, supposedly, according to the UFC. She did it with a knee to the solar plex or to the obliques, I believe. Dude, don't get me. I'm not a fucking doctor. I don't know what part of the body that is. But she kneed her in the stomach. Man, she hit her kidney shot. I'm like, I don't know, bro. It looked like a liver shot. Shut up, bro. My neck hurts, right? My neck hurts. That's what I tell the doctor. Anyways, shout out to Nicole Cagliari. She's not the greatest fighter in the world. We knew that going in, and I believed in Carly Giudice. Now, these odds weren't 475 at fight or when I made the video. I think they were in the 300s. But I need you guys to understand something. I was more confident about Carly Giudice beating Nicole Cagliari than the main event. Let me explain that real quick. I was more confident about Carly Giudice winning this fight than Dustin Poirier beating Max Holloway. Why? Because Dustin's fighting Max Holloway. There is no bum in that fight. So when I hear you guys say that you put money on the main event, like last night, there was an MVP, and he's like, Rico, I missed a couple times, but don't worry about it, man. My parlay just got crushed. Don't worry about it. I got straights on Ige. He said, I got straights on Ige, Costa, and Poirier. He said, I got straights on these three dudes. This is what he said in the live chat. I can pull it up on the Discord server. It was on the stage, and you just got to scroll back a little bit. And he said it, and the first thing I said was, that's dumb. Why the hell do you have straights on the 3 hardest fights of the night? That's crazy. It's somewhere up here, bro. This is nuts. And for those of you MVPs out there who aren't on the Discord stage with us every night, I don't know what to tell you guys. You guys are paying for a service you don't even use. It's embarrassing. But this guy really wrote this, and he said, don't worry, I got straights on Costa. Yeah, he said, I got straights on Costa, Holland, and Poirier. And the Holland one made sense. Oh, no, he said Ige. Ige, Costa, and Poirier. And I'm like, bro, that's a motherfucking coin flip. He's fighting another professional fighter. These are 2 Hall of Famers. This sounds silly. This is not how you want to make a living. Making bets on 2 amazing people facing each other when you could go out there and put money on scrubs or against scrubs. Here, listen to what I'm saying. Sometimes you guys got to look at a fight card and just identify where is your opportunity to make money. I like to put the name Rico Knows next to it. That's what I like to do. That is not a game. That's not a joke. That is not for you to be like, yo, Rico, I'm up so far tonight, but we still got the main card to go. I always tell you guys, the law of averages is going to come back to bite you in the ass. I always say it. The law of averages is going to come back to bite you in the ass. What does that mean? We're going to eventually come back down from where we're at. It's the stock market. Motherfucker, this ain't Bitcoin. I'm trying to keep it real with you guys, but the reality is you're not going to listen. You should have been so far up from some of these other predictions, and then you should have looked at them other ones and go, yo, bro, we can't bet that shit. That's a coin flip fight. I can't do that. That's how it goes. I had a guy write me this morning. He goes, I can't believe I listened to your advice. We had 4 MVPs quit last night. He says, I can't believe I listened to your advice and I took Dustin Poirier when everybody else was telling me to take Max Holloway. And the whole time I'm reading the comment, I'm just going, who the fuck are you talking to? Like, where do you get advice from? When does your advice matter? Like, when does your assessment matter? That's wild to me. Dude was like, oh, well, I wanted to take Holloway. Then take him. I'll get off it, man. I'll get off it. Carly Giudice. Dominant, athletic, moves well, controls space. She's not the strongest fighter in the world, muscular-wise, right? Muscles. But, man, she's here to bang. And she's doing some great things. Now, obviously, fighters are going to catch on to the knee she throws in the clinch. They're going to start reaching down to grab one of them and then get the takedown. That's very possible. So just be aware of that moving forward, okay? Next fight. See, here's a fight where if you told me you had a straight bet on it and you told me this was your biggest bet of the night, I'd say what a great job you're doing because this was the easiest call of the night. Now, some of you, and I talked about this in the video, some of you were so focused on this Bruno first round TKO that you missed on it and you just quit. But Rico, you predicted a first round TKO. I said in the video, and I quote, hey guys, this thing's still purple. Whether you believe it or not, it's purple. Like the description of the fight makes sense. The color doesn't. Do you see how it's purple? You might not know the color scheme. I had an MVP show up, a new MVP show up and say, what's all these colors mean? Bro, watch the videos. Purple prop is the least likely outcome. It's on the chart, but it's the least likely outcome. What are you talking about, Rico? I thought you said Bruno Fader's going to knock him out in the first round. I said, this is purple. And the stats are right here. That happens 35% of the time. But you bet it like it's a lock. You bet it because it's on the chart. You said this is going to happen. No, what's going to happen is the green text, which is now white. But Rico, that's only a minus 650. I can't bet minus 650. You don't know how to bet minus 650. You don't have a fucking clue what you're doing. This was where you put all your money. How much money did you put on the card? How much money did you put on this whole card? That's where you put it. He's fighting a complete bum. What a fish he was fighting. Jackson McVeigh does not belong in the UFC at all. You saw a guy out there afraid to get hit. I'm glad he had his braids in, but he couldn't do anything. And Bruno Ferreira's a complete fighter. He can grapple. He can bomb. He can bang. Yes, we're worried about his cardio, but what's cardio matter when we're winning in the first round by armbar? Now, win by armbar. I've never seen a group of people more lackluster and more upset that a guy won by armbar. You know why? Because they all bet the knockout. It's crazy. I tell you, anything in purple on this chart is going to hit at 30%, and you bet it like it's a lock. You bet it with the same amount of confidence that you would a lock. And then you get mad, oh, I got to learn better, man. I don't know what's going on. Like, it just drives me crazy. And I can only put the numbers in the biggest font that'll fit on the screen, man. And I can only say it so many times. Next fight. Rico, you missed. Yeah, you missed if you bet on this shit. Shout out to Ryan Spann and Lucas Brzeski. I told you guys I don't like Ryan Superman Spann as a heavyweight. He looked fat and out of shape. And then they gave him a fish that he's bigger than. And he did what we expected him to do. Right? Ryan Spann can't lose this fight. He's a wrestler. He's a grappler. He's now a heavyweight. He should be one of the few heavyweights in the world that can actually grapple. Well, he went out there and did it. I couldn't pick him. I could never tell you to put your hard-earned money on Ryan Spann, so I just said, don't bet this fight. But Rico, it's on the chart. Yeah, I pick every fight. I pick every fight. You don't have to bet every fight. I say that to you, and then I find out you got to bet on Oliveira, Zellhuber, Ige, Holland, Gustaf, Poirier. You bet every single fight. You guys, look down here. We are 168 and 95 on the year. That's going to be 95 misses. That's not an accident. That's 95 misses. It's real. Really. When I'm talking about who's going to win a fight, I've missed almost 100 times this year. And we're halfway through the year. Almost 100 times. You can't bet on every fight, bro. I mean, unless you like losing money. Shout out to Ryan Spann. It would have been a great time to take him because Brzeski sucks so bad. But once again, can't even believe in Ryan Spann. He was outstruck in this fight. That's crazy. I still just don't believe in Ryan Spann. I just don't. I think he doesn't prepare properly. He got on the mic and yelled out hallelujah and God is this, that. I guess God's not a Lucas Brzeski fan. It just makes no sense to me when these guys get out there and they thank God for giving them the victory and not the other guy. Like, I don't know what's going on. That's just silly to me. Ryan Spann, not a heavyweight striker. He's a heavyweight now. And he's a good grappler. I think the next matchup he gets, we'll have to find out whether or not that individual has grappling acumen of any sort. And if they give him Walter Walker, he's in trouble. If they give him Walter Walker, he's in real trouble because now we're going to go grappler on grappler, and we got to stay standing. And I don't like Ryan Spann's muscle. And the reason I bring up Walter Walker is because usually they're going to give you a heavyweight from the previous fight card or the next one because they all need the same amount of break or rest. So there you go. Lucas Brzeski doesn't belong in the UFC. He absolutely sucks. He should be cut this morning or tomorrow morning. Next fight, Jimmy Crute versus Marcin Prachnio. I told you it was a lock. It's another one of those situations where you could have believed it. It's a lock. You got to believe it and rock with it. Prachnio is 37 years old. He's a bum. Don't believe in Prachnio at all. And we get a victory by armbar. Jimmy Crute's a pretty thick guy. I think he's limited as a striker. And we saw that. He couldn't quite close the distance. He was outstruck immensely in this fight. When standing, he doesn't have an advantage. On the ground, that dude is a problem. As strong as he is, he's a very good grappler. And Prachnio is a terrible grappler. That's the second loss in a row by submission. I don't know if he gets another UFC fight, but he just looks gross. And Vegas knows he's not good, hence the odds. But we'll take Jimmy Crute every single time. Easy call. Shout out to the MVPs if you bet on Jimmy Crute. Next fight, Islam Dudulov versus Adam Fugitt. I was really hoping Adam Fugitt could have taken this to the deep end. Second, third round, let us see what we need to see. There's no way, I don't care about this miss. There's no way I can tell you take Islam Dudulov unless you were going to take him by knockout in the first round, which would have been on the chart. It probably would have been a 30%er, and you would have bet it like it was a 100% lock because that's what you guys do. You're junkies. You have to bet on a method, or you don't. Rico, is this going to end in knockout or submission? Which one is it, Rico? I need to know. It's like, dude, just stop. Go. Take a nap, bro. Just stop. Adam Fugitt sucks, and he couldn't hang in there. Islam Dudulov's a much better athlete. He looked crisp. Yes, I don't like him. I don't know what his cardio looks like, and I guess it doesn't matter because they're going to keep giving him fish for a while. They want to build up his marketing and see what he can do. Like I said, he reminds me a lot of Sage Northcutt, which was a young kid, blonde, beautiful, ripped and all that stuff. This kid is that. Islam Dudulov hits hard, very athletic. He's got really skinny legs. But I thought he was patient in this one, and Fugit was scared the whole time, just trying to grab something and not get beat up. And that lasted for a little bit. Then you get cracked. So shout out to Islam Dudulov. Next time we see him, it's probably going to be very, very expensive, and we'll just tell you to avoid betting on it or fade him. One of the two. You don't have to go heavy. It is what it is. Next fight, Robert Valentin and Ateba Gautier. Another one of those situations where if you told me you had a straight on Ateba Gautier, I would say you're good. Now, what's the difference here? Let's explain this. Why is an Ateba Gautier knockout a way better bet than a Bruno Ferreira knockout in the first round? Why is it a way better bet? Because it's black. Do you guys see that black right there? Black text? A black prop hits at 59% compared to 35% if it's purple. Stop worrying about the odds. Stop worrying about what Vegas has on the odds. If I put it in black text, I am right 60% of the time. Stop with, that's why these hit. When you grab it, when you pull up the chart and you're looking for the black prop bets, the black ones will hit and the purples will miss. The payouts are different. Rico, the odds aren't the same. I know. The likelihood of it occurring isn't the same. But it's going to hit. One guy's knockout versus another guy's knockout. Why is Ateba's knockout going to hit more likely than Bruno Ferreira's? Because Ateba Gautier has no ability to, he's never going to get a submission. He doesn't have that in him. He's going to get the knockout. Whereas Bruno Ferreira's got submission ability. And then I take into account who is he fighting. You guys got to trust the color scheme and stop going with I don't even know what it is that you guys are doing. I don't even know. It's fucking crazy to me. Shout out to Ateba Gautier. He looked like the guy we think he is. He hits like a ton of bricks. Never really been pressed. He's just such a physical specimen. We need to find somebody who can handle what he's throwing, and Vegas is going to make you pay for him every time. We're going to take his knockout every chance we get. There will be a time to fade him. It's not now, and it's not with these current opponents. Robert Valentine, still don't know if he can fight. Didn't look like he could, but still don't know if he can fight. He landed 2 punches in this fight, and he's been beat every time he's been in the octagon. Probably not UFC caliber, but, man, his record, his schedule is brutal. Motherfucker, have you guys looked at South Florida's football schedule next year? They open up the season with Boise State, Miami, and Florida. That's South Florida's schedule. Boise State, Miami, and Florida. First 3 games. And everybody's talking about South Florida. Like, Rico, why don't you believe in South Florida? Why don't you? They did it to themselves. Robert Valentine, he's fought 3 monsters in a row now. 3 people he can't handle. I shouldn't say monsters. Torres Finney should never be described as a monster. But it's one of those situations where give Ateba Torres Finney. Give Ateba Torres Finney. And let him go beat the brakes off of that wrestler. Right? So anyways, there you go. Next fight. And this is where you should be very confident. I told you if I put Rico Nose next to the outcome of a fight, we've only missed it once in the last 4 months. Shout out to Jose Aldo. If I put Rico Nose next to it, I'm not going to miss. Now, did he win this fight? Well, fighting's subjective. Assessments of fighters is subjective. We did not get the read wrong. The read wasn't wrong. Vrtenikov was much bigger, stronger, and more dominant than Francisco Prado. He was. Physically, I had that read right. I think that Francisco Prado's too small for the weight class, and I don't believe in him like that. Now, Vrtenikov has every opportunity to win a fight, and he just does the dumbest shit you've ever seen. He's 35 years old. There's no excuse for this. No excuse for this. He might as well borrow your car and not bring it back for 3 days and just act like a strung-out drug addict in his early 20s. Like, there's something wrong with this guy. For him to do spinning back fists, that's nuts, bro. That's nuts. For him to just end up on bottom randomly and then have to work way harder to get back on top. It's just stupid. Um, I I don't think you can trust him with your coin. I trust that he's tough. I told you he just had a bigger size or whatever that was, and we ended up getting the win. Now, was this a robbery? I don't know if it was a robbery, but it definitely was very surprising. The outcome was surprising, and this is the UFC. And for those of you who aren't aware, betting on the UFC, you're going to end up on one side of the coin or the other. It is what it is. You're going to be on the right side of a robbery from time to time and on the wrong side. In this particular case, Rico knows. We're screaming it. Please understand that if you told me you had money on Nikolai Vertenikov, I would have been very excited for you. I obviously put it on the lottery ticket. But if you told me you had an equal amount of money on Marvin Vettori, I would be very confused. Because Marvin Vettori is fighting an incredible fighter, whereas Vertenikov is fighting a fighter who's never won in the UFC, or only won once in the UFC. Do you guys understand that? Like, you see that? Just because they're on the chart, just because they're purple, because the payout's better, all this stuff. No, the only reason Marvin Vettori is even purple is because of EV right there. Expected value. I expected these odds to be closer, and they're not. That is the only reason he's purple. It's not that I think he's a great fighter. It's not that I think he's better than Brendan Allen. It's because the odds are wrong. Please understand that this was me believing this was a better fighter. Huge difference. I believe he's a better fighter. Went through a long tangent about why Paulo Costa's purple, because he's a better fighter. Did not say that about Dustin Poirier. Did not say that about Adam Fugit. Did not say that about Lucas Brzeski. Think about all the purples on the card last night, and not once did you hear me say, better fighter, better fighter, better fighter. No, I talked about, I hope it goes. This guy sucks. We can't take these odds. Hope just pulling for Dustin. I'm just cheering for him. I won't put any money on this fight. But when I talk about Vertenikov, I say he's a better fighter. When I talk about Paulo Costa, I say he's an elite fighter in main events, and I can't believe he's a plus 200. He's a better fighter than some dude who's been beating guys on the early prelim cards. I don't understand how you don't. Now, if you just read the chart, then you don't get the answers. Then you don't know what you're doing. But when I sit here and I tell you this guy's a better fighter, I believe in this. And then the very next fight, but Rico, it's a purple. I got parlay the purples. Rico, I got to bet this. No, I said, if you're going to bet this fight, just bet it by points. Either fighter. I even said it. Hedge your own bet. Take Brendan Allen by points and take Vettori by points. I put the example on the chart. I put the example on the screen. Now, you wouldn't know that because you didn't watch the video. The lock in this fight, by the way, was to go the distance. Because I said Marvin Vettori, as big and strong as he is, has pills for fists and has knocked no one out. How many times did he land on Brendan Allen? All the time. He's going to land on it and make it look great. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't hurt. It sounds good. Impresses judges. And I went with it. Now, this 30-27 nonsense on two of the fight cards is absurd. 30-27 is absolutely absurd. First and foremost, Marvin Vettori actually outpieced him up in the first round, but you're bleeding. You're not going to win that round. Second round, though, Vettori won. Third round, I can give it to Brendan Allen. The point I'm trying to make, though, is this was a 50-50 fight. You're not going to make a living betting on 50-50 fights. At least you shouldn't. That's silly. Brendan Allen struggles to maintain control when he needs it. I don't know why he's doing a stand-up fight with a guy when he has an advantage on the ground, but obviously it's because trying to grapple with Marvin Vettori will get you exhausted. That man is very strong. And Marvin Vettori is who we know he is. Very low ceiling, high floor. He can beat a lot of the regional guys, but he's just going to keep fighting on main cards because the UFC wants to keep a fan base in Italy. There's no other reason Marvin Vettori is on main cards. Marvin Vettori hasn't impressed anyone or won a fight in a dominant fashion in, I don't know, like in Ash's lifetime. My dog Ash, as long as she's been alive, Marvin Vettori hasn't been good. So it's just one of those situations. He's very limited. He just is. So, end of the day, you guys got to learn how to read the chart, read the level of enthusiasm and what I believe in. If it's green and it says going the distance, then we hit that lock over there. Once again, a prop lock is at 55%. the purples, Vittori by points, it would have been 35%. That miss is not the same as this one. That miss or this one. That miss is the same as this one. Even though you think Bruno Ferreira is going to win by knockout. I just told you, Bruno Ferreira is going to win by knockout in the first round. And then I scream out, guys, it's purple. Gautier winning by TKO is black. It's a 20% probability, almost 30% probability between the two. And you're betting them the same. And you're parlaying them. I'll never understand you. Never. Next fight. Man, did we get this right to a T. It was the final prelim fight. I accidentally have it on the main card side of the chart, but it doesn't matter. Kyler Phillips versus Vinicius Oliveira. What do we know from this fight? First and foremost, Kyler Phillips, once again, will never lose the first round of any fight he's in. He's very dynamic. He's explosive. He will go out there and crack, and if he's going to win the fight in the first round, cool. We don't bet on Kyler Phillips. We just let it happen, right? Do not bet on Kyler Phillips until after the first round. Bet against him, right? That's what I said. That's why it says live bet. For those of you who didn't watch the video, you're probably not watching this one, but I'll explain it anyways. When I have live bet like this, that means we're taking Vinicius Oliveira, but I want him to lose the first round and then come back and win the fight. You'll get better odds that way. So shout out to Kyler Phillips. Did exactly what I thought. Started to wane, and Vinicius Oliveira just put the juice on him. Now, let's talk about it. Vinicius Oliveira is going to miss a lot of strikes. He fights very sloppily. His hands are at his waist. He's reckless. And the minute they give him another dog who's defensively sound and throws straight punches, I think Oliveira's going to be in a lot of trouble. Right now, they tried to give him a dog like that, and you got to be willing to go to the deep end as well, right? Somebody said ABC. The ABC of MMA, the ABC of gambling is pretty simple. It's always bet cardio. Always bet cardio. Kyler Phillips has no cardio. So you got to believe in Vinicius Oliveira. We got it right. Feels good. And it's the last time we're going to get something right for a while. Main card was filled with upsets, and no one in the world got him right. Don't feel bad. No one on the internet got him right. No one on Twitter. No one anywhere. They're all lying to you if they said they did. I double-checked. There's nobody out there that got all these right. It's just the reality of the situation. That doesn't feel good, but I just want you to know you're not alone. Next fight, Daniel Zellhuber versus Michael Johnson. This is one of those situations where you need to see the value in being an MVP. Because I told everybody, we're not making Daniel Zellhuber a lock. On a lot of parlays, Zellhuber was a lock. He was on everybody's parlay, all this shit. We don't live in that world, man. He's fighting Michael Johnson, who is a very competent fighter. Now, what I see in this fight, Daniel Zellhuber is smarter than his coaches, and he needs to leave that fight camp. Whoever the fuck he's training with, who is it? He needs to leave that fight camp immediately. So Daniel Zellhuber is the one in the cage. Oh, he's at Extreme Couture? Yeah, get the fuck away from them bums, bro. Seriously. He's in the cage, and after the first round, Daniel Zellhuber has only thrown kicks. And he tried a couple of jabs here and there. He tried to punch a little bit, but then he said, no. I got to throw kicks and maintain my distance and stay away. And when he got to the corner, his coach says, hey, man, I need you to start piecing him up and throw some combos. And he said, oh, no. He goes, I miss, and he's so fast. And you hear another fighter say, that guy's too fast for that. He's going to hurt me if I do that. And he comes out the second round and does what his corner told him, and he starts throwing more punches. And what did he do? He finds himself on his ass. Now, there's no excuse for not being able to fight with Michael Johnson and actually impose your will and get it done. There isn't. But I see a disconnect with his coaches telling him what he needs to do, and they just don't see it the same way. That he's the one in the cage. He's the one in the fire. He knows what he feels. And it's just unfortunate. The kid's got a lot of tools, and Vegas knows that, and they're going to make you pay for him. I don't know. You know what he doesn't have? He doesn't have that killer instinct. He's got that dog in him. He is tough. He's got a chin. But he's talking after the fight. He's just arguing with Michael Johnson. He's just kind of talking and doing this thing. And no, you got to have a mean streak in you. Like, I think Daniel Zellhuber wants to save puppies. I don't think he wants to take anybody's lunch money. He's fine. He's not a killer. He's athletic. He's got a lot of tools. Mentally, not a killer. It's like a teenager. You ever seen these teenagers who are super athletic, but they don't have that killer instinct in them? They'll be on the football field, basketball court. They just don't want to take anybody's lunch money. They're skilled. They're good. They're crossing you over. They're outrunning you. They're out doing, but they're not really going after it. And you're frustrated. You're like, man, when are you going to get that killer instinct? Well, Daniel Zellhuber, we'll wait till he gets it before we bet on him again, because that's terrible. But remember, not a lock. You bet it like it was a lock, and you parlayed it like it was a lock. And I told you it's not a lock. Why is it not a lock? It's black. And when something's black, we're only right 69% of the time. That's what that means. Don't parlay it. Remember when people were asking me, Rico, why don't you have any parlays on these two cards? Why? Because there was only one lock on the card. One lock on the card. And we don't parlay anything else. So when you come over here, I put a bunch of locks on this card. Probably shouldn't. I still think Kevin Holland would have been a lock. There's no way I can get around that. But Dan Ige probably shouldn't have been a lock. That's the only thing. I go back and assess what I'm doing. But it doesn't matter. It wouldn't have changed the outcome of any of this shit, because I'm going to miss on Kevin Holland 100 out of 100 times. And we'll get to that, right? All right, next fight. Dan Ige and Patricio Pitbull. So Pitbull wins as an underdog. I can't imagine anyone picking Pitbull. Yes, he looked vicious in this one. He looked vicious. Dan Ige, unfortunately for Dan Ige, he didn't do himself any justice. Like, he did not go out there and impose his will. I think Dan Ige felt Patricio Pitbull actually hit him, and it hurt him. And he didn't really impose his will and do anything. And I also know that I could see that Dan Ige knew he had no advantage in grappling. None whatsoever. So what we have to do is we have to find dynamic strikers who can maintain the distance. I'd imagine Pitbull's going to get another dynamic striker in the weight class, and we'll find out who it is, but he can't fight some of the elite fighters. He just can't. He's very slow, plotty, but man, can he put a pace on you when he needs to. And it's important that we respect his explosion, but man, he's boring as fuck. I'm not a fan of Pitbull at all. Even after that fight, it wasn't a dominant performance. They didn't even interview him after the fight because he didn't finish. But it's just one of those situations where it's like, man, fuck off. That dude's boring. That dude's not good. And Dan Ige, you let us down immensely. Calling this a lock was silly on my part, but at the end of the day, fuck you, 50K, Dan Ige. No, I'm not taking it personal. I just wish he could have imposed his will more, actually struck and punched. He was punching scared. He wasn't pivoting on his strikes. He wasn't in the pocket the way he usually is. And I think something happened in the fight where he got connected and he couldn't really throw with confidence. Especially, you can't throw with confidence when the guy keeps level changing on you, right? He's shooting 9 takedowns. It's just a level change. Get under your ass, you're in trouble. Those doubles. And so if a guy's going to do a blast double on you while you're striking, it's put a fear in your heart and all that stuff. And Dan Ige didn't get it done. Sucks. Ruined a lot of parlays. Speaking of ruining a lot of parlays, Kevin Holland is not serious, bro. He is not serious. The most unserious fighter in MMA history. Shout out to Copious Highlights, good friend of the channel, been around for a while. And Copious Highlights, he said, Rico, if you watched your assessment on Kevin Holland against, it was an older video. He's like, against MVP. If you watch that assessment, because that night I took MVP as an underdog. He goes, if you watch what you said about Kevin Holland in that video, you would never made him a lock. And I laughed, guys. I laughed, and I try to laugh myself into believing that Kevin Holland is a dependable fighter. But we know he's not. And we've known this, and he looked great last fight, so I believed him. But look, man, this really doesn't have much to do with Kevin Holland. It doesn't. We know who Kevin Holland is. It has way more to do with Daniel Rodriguez. Daniel Rodriguez can't win this fight. He can't. Dan Rodriguez has a jab and nothing else. There's no kicks. There's no grappling. There's no clinch work. There's no dirty elbows. There's nothing. No Muay Thai at all. D-Rod, it's so frustrating because D-Rod has nothing. And then he comes out here and he hurts Kevin Holland. He cracks Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland, none of his punches were landing. Everything was missing. And it wasn't like Dan Rodriguez has this incredible head move. I've watched Dan Rodriguez struggle with Alex Morano. There's just no way this should have happened. And Kevin Holland talking about winning 5 fights in a year. Motherfucker, I'm so sick of you. I'm so sick of Kevin Holland. So he ruined everything. Nobody picked Daniel Rodriguez anywhere in the world. I checked. It's just, and I say nobody, I'm talking about cappers. It's just one of those situations where the UFC the law of averages will come back to get you. And missing 2 locks on a card, it's the third time it's happened this year, which is, it only happened once last year, and it's happened 3 times this year. That's what's making it difficult. When I miss 2 greens like this, these greens should not be missing, and I did. It's my fault. I made them green. I think people don't understand that, right? So the nature of the odds are irrelevant. Odds don't matter. I want you guys to listen to me. When it comes to the accuracy of my assessments, odds don't matter. What matters is what colors I make these fights. When you trust it like that, you'll be far more accurate. I need to make that very clear. So why is Kevin Holland a minus 500 green and Daniel Zellhuber's not green? Right? It's because of their opponents. It's because of who they're fighting and their path to victories. Now, we got them both wrong in this particular case. But you look over here, Ateba's a lock. It's green at minus 560. Right? But Islam Dudalov's not green. Please understand what that means. Like, I can't decipher it for you. It's not the Mayan code, but it is a situation where you need to get a really good grasp of how we do things on this platform. And a lot of it has to do with, if I make something green, I'm going to be right. But it's not 100%. I don't think people understand. I had one guy say to me, well, then don't call them locks. Don't call them locks. What the fuck do you mean? Do you mean I'm supposed to go my entire gambling career, my entire capping career, and never miss? Or else you're just going to leave and you don't believe in me? Oh, man, but by all means, roll the fuck out. You don't even need to announce your departure. This ain't a train station. You don't need to tell me you're leaving, bro. Just roll the fuck out. That's a real situation right there. Is if I miss a lock, it's already on the page that I'm going to miss a lock. It's right there in clear math. I've missed 22 locks this year. 22 locks. How many cards are there? How many cards have been here? That's 21, 22, 23. On average, I miss 1 lock every single card. On average. 23 fight cards this year. I've missed 22 locks. On average, one of the greens is going to miss. I can't say it any better than that. Can't say it any better than that. You're not buying eggs at the supermarket and all 12 are good eggs. You open up the cart and you go, man, there's a rotten egg in here. No, what if I told you every dozen eggs you buy at the supermarket, one of them is going to be bad? Would you still be mad? Or would you open it knowing one of these is bad? Or would your dumbass eat all 12 and pretend like you didn't know one of them is bad? Figure out which one's bad, bro. Visually, figure out which one's bad. Tread lightly. Eat carefully. I don't know what else to say. Shout out to Daniel Rodriguez. He sucks. We'll never believe in him. And Kevin Holland is a worse person because he doesn't respect your coin. Might be the last time we ever pick Kevin Holland to win a fight. Might be. Next fight, Paulo Costa versus Roman Kopylov. The scorecards were 30-27, 30-27, and 29-28. I don't think it was that close. I thought Paulo Costa easily won every single round. Remember, my like when you miss so bad and then you turn around and win so good and you get a plus 200 right and nobody cheers, you know it's a bad night. You know people didn't look at it the same way, right? I'm going to give you guys an example. How much did I believe in this value bet, Paulo Costa? How much did I believe in it? I put it in 4K for you. It's right here. It's right here. The 2 value bets. Remember, I said, guys, I'm picking 6 value bets. 6. I said this in the video. I'm picking 6 purples. And only 2 are going to hit. Because we hit purples at 41%. So 2 out of 6. 1/3 of them, 33% of them are going to hit. And I picked the 2 I believed in the most, Costa and Vertinakarov, and I parlayed them for a plus 5. That's how I got to the lottery ticket. That's me assessing my own picks. Because I looked at it and I went, well, I'm not going to parlay anything with Dustin Poirier. There's not a chance. He's fighting Max Holloway. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing this one. Nope, that's a coin flip fight. No thanks. We're only picking this guy because the odds are insane and It is what it is. And I don't believe in Bretsky at all, but I don't believe in either one of these guys. So the only underdogs I can really believe in are Vachinikarov, who I think is much better than Prado, hence I put my name next to it, and Paulo Costa, who I told you is an elite fighter. He's only fought the best fighters in the world for 5 years. And he's fighting a dude who beat up some dudes on the regional scene and the early prelim. Nah, give me Paulo Costa. And that's how I came up with this parlay. It's not luck, guys. It's assessing what's available on the fight card. And then I even went a step further. I told you guys, hey, careful. There are 3 parlays down here. They're all purple. Don't make me pull up the video. I said there are 3 parlays. They're all purple. We hit on 35% of them. Only one of these parlays is going to hit. Figure out which one of these parlays is going to hit, but only one's going to hit. Mathematically. That's what that means. You see 3 purple parlays. Look at them. One of them's going to hit. Now, you could have put a unit on each one of these, and you would have still been green. But do you have the courage to put a unit on it? That's on you. I'm just letting you know. 35%. It's on the screen. No one hides anything from you. This is bullshit. He's a fraud. It's on the screen. Roman Kopylov, just not elite. Very, very dynamic striker. Hard kicks, can punch and do stuff. Not an elite fighter. And Paulo Costa hits a lot harder than you think. Now, Costa gets tired. He can't even fight 3 rounds. Like, he lasted to about 2 minutes left in the fight. So, careful. If they ever put him in a main event 5-round fight, you can't bet him because he don't have cardio. You can't go there. You'll look silly. But Paulo Costa in a 3-round fight, you got to feel pretty good about it. He's going to win the first round. He's very strong. He's a beautiful man. And I believe in Paulo Costa. If they keep giving him these guys who are regional fighters, or Roman Kopylov, like I said, he didn't earn the right to fight an elite fighter. Who did he beat? Chris Curtis? Oh, yeah, Chris Curtis. Beating Chris Curtis, Carlos Almeida, like these aren't the right. You didn't earn the right to fight a guy who's on posters. Nah. And it showed. He went out there and didn't look the part at all. He didn't look like he belonged in there with Paulo Costa. Everybody's going, man, I really like this version of Paulo Costa. This is the Paulo Costa you've known the whole time. It's silly. Main event. You probably lost a lot of money on this main event because you're a moron. Never in your life. And shout out to my boy Lucky Luciano. He said, hey, Rico, man, I lost a lot of money tonight. I'm chasing. It's on me. And I was just like, I'll never understand that. Like, I hear you, brother, but let me give you some advice. Never chase on the 2 best fighters on the fight card. That's stupid. You want to chase? Chase on the early prelim for the next fight card. Chase on a definite win on the next fight card. Like your money's not going anywhere. You guys can't wait a week. Be patient. Sit back, relax. You want to chase? Whatever money you lost, go put $8,000 on fucking Southern Miss to win more than 4.5 games. Like, do something else, man. Betting against Max Holloway or Dustin Poirier is silly. We're watching the fight. They're 2 amazing fighters. 2 Hall of Fame fighters, and these scorecards are crazy. Whatever. 49, 46, 49, that's crazy. We don't really need to assess Dustin Poirier. He's not fighting again, but we can talk about Max Holloway. Man, does he hit nice. Max Holloway has great movement, head movement, his ability to circle. His cardio is on point. You saw that in the last 10 seconds when they were supposed to start banging. He still had all the fire in the world to throw. And Max Holloway is a gangster. I think he's in incredible shape. Hits very hard. Unfortunately for him, he's going to always be fighting some monsters. I don't know who he's going to get next, but it might be Topuria again. I don't think I can take Max against Topuria. I don't think I can. I don't. But I get it. I get it. So that's where we're at on it, guys. Look, MVPs. Learn the color scheme. Learn the hit rates. Do your best to do your own research, and then utilize me to fill in the gaps, right? But at the end of the day, never forget this. The math will even out. The math will get there. Like when you're betting, I just remember, like 95 misses, 168 hits. 95 misses. They're not all the same. They're not all the same color. They're not all the same. Like you can go in here and you can do the math. What is this? You can do the math here. 49. Am I missing some misses here? Let me see this. 83. 85. That's 105 misses. How am I got 105? I got to go back and check the numbers. Looks like 105 from these misses. We might have. There's no way. Oh, it's not adding. It's not adding misses. There's 12 here. It had 95 misses here. Something's going wrong. I shouldn't be doing this in a video right now. Plus D41. Yeah. D41 plus I-20 to I-40. I-20 to I-40. That's silly. It's not giving me the right number. It's adding the wins, but not the loss, not the misses. We'll have to figure that out. This number should be 107. Doesn't really change much. 107 misses. There you go. 107 misses. They're not all the same. Please watch the videos. Watch the videos. Shout out to the MVPs. I do have some of them on the Discord server right now watching the live stream. My boy Jalen says, thanks, man. I ate good last night. Shout out to Jalen. He ate good. Some people, they got ahead. And then my boy Coachy says, cleaned house in the prelim, tanked in the main. Yeah, man. So when something like this happens and you clean house in the prelim, you got to know the law of averages coming back to get you. You got to just sit it out. Now, some of you guys made your bets before the card, and I understand. But if we're on a run like this, this is peak Rico knows. We're screaming it. We got it right. Chill, bro. Have the discipline to chill, because the law of averages is going to come back to get you. We don't typically run through a card and go undefeated. It happens. It happened. You know, we get 11, 10. It's happened 3 times or so. We've had a perfect card once, twice, 3 times a lady. We've had a perfect card twice in the last 2 years. So just understand, it's not likely. So pace yourself. If you're hitting stuff right, but more importantly, look for opponents that aren't very good, and then bet on the guy who's going to beat that opponent. Every now and then you'll get a gift, and the gifts might not look like minus 100s or minus 140s or something. No, the gifts come like this, man. The gifts come at minus 295. Don't tell me Prashno was any good in that fight. Okay? So sometimes I'll put my name next to something. Trust it. Trust it. The gifts will look like this, man. These are gifts. Rose, Namajunas, going the distance. Minus 245. You got to find your spots, man. This isn't a gift. Find your spots. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Sorry for the low energy this morning. I had a long night, obviously, and I didn't wake up the most excited. All right? Peace.